Okay, so part two then is the loop. So we've imported the loop from components loop, which is this file here, and then we've displayed it in our view, which is this button here and just a simple piece of text. So let's have a look at this code. Very similar to the other code, we are rendering a button and we are rendering some text. We've also set up a variable called counter. So we've got a class again for everything to set up our counter variable everyone can see. We have a button with the title run loop, and when we press it, it will run this function here called run loop. The text is showing the counter. So it's showing the variable counter, which at the moment we set to 0. So this is our counter variable here. This is the default value here. If I want to, I can change it to a different variable and it will update here. Notice, guys, numbers do not need quotes. On our conditionals one, when we were using text, we needed some quotes, but numbers don't need it, just like JavaScript for the web pages. I'm going to set our number back to 0. Okay, so when we press the button, it runs this function here. Now set an alert to show it's running. So I click the button, we get a message saying running, I click OK, and the number changes to 5. And well, what I've done is I have set another variable called count to be 0. The let is just a way of declaring variables in React. It's part of the class. There's different ways of doing this, guys. But for now, all we need to worry about is we have a count, a variable, and it's set to 0. Then I have a while loop. The same logic and the same syntax as in JavaScript if you used them before. What I'm saying is whilst count is less than 5, add 1 to count or increment count. So count will be 1. We'll go around again. Count is still less than 5. It will be 2. Still less than 5. It will be 3. Still less than 5. It will be 4. Still less than 5. It will be 4. And then still less than 5. It will go to 5. Now, I know you're thinking 5 is not less than 5. In some languages, 5 counts as less than 5. In other languages, it doesn't. So just be careful, guys. In React, 5 is less than 5 according to React. Why? I don't know, but there we go. So it loops around, adds 1 to count. Then what I do is I set the state counter to count. So we just use our own little variable here called count, and I've set counter to equal the same as count. And I'm returning that back into the class. And that's why the text updates to the counter variable. So it went from 0 to 5 because we ran this little function here. We set count variable to equal 0. We added 1 to it until it equaled 5. We set counter to equal the count variable, which is now 5, which is why we get a 5 here. And remember what I said in the class, because we are saying this, it will update immediately. We don't need to have another function to reset the text box. So let's show you that once again. I'm just going to reset the program by changing something. Okay, so we're at 0. Press the button, we get our alert, and we get our number set to 5. Now you might be thinking, why do we need to do that, Mr. Lee? That's a bit silly. I agree. It's not the most useful demonstration in the world, but I just wanted to show you the logic. Okay, I wanted to show you how to call a function, which you've already done, and I wanted to show you how to do a while loop, which you've done in the previous topic, but not in React yet. It's up to you to think of how to use that in a more useful way now. Okay, the main thing is though, guys, is you use one. It doesn't really matter how. Just change it from what I've done. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, guys, good luck. Have a go.